I'm Gabriel Ritchie,
I'm Jeremiah McConan.
I'm Tawado Hemana.
uh, and this is the Ritchie and Mecco Connection playoff preview. And our guest today is the same man who joined us on our NBA regular season preview, Tewahedo, T,
Yeah.
whatever you prefer to be called.
T Money.
He's back.
T Bands, T Stacks, all of I go by a lot of names. One I don't know by is a playoff predictor. Just on our first episode, we're gonna get into it. I'm sure we will. But when I stopped by with y'all to start the season, I definitely had some strong takes. I appreciate y'all giving me the floor today to go back on them, kind of explain my train of thought, explain why things went wrong. But I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate y'all having me again. I really appreciate it. Y'all know it's love.
Of course. I mean, if you want to, you could go ahead and just address the elephant in the room now. We know who's missing from the playoffs.
Yeah,
we know what happened. So
it's definitely an elephant. The 2021 Los Angeles Lakers, probably one of the more disappointing teams in NBA history. I think that's fair to say. Would you guys agree? The most disappointing team?
damn.
I don't.
That I won't
You
argue
look at
it.
them, though, and I don't even really remember where we had them, Jay. We had them lower than T had them. T, just full disclosure, you're a LeBron James fan.
Yes.
For those of you who might be new to the pod and didn't hear the first episode T was on way back when, LeBron James fan, and that makes you you're a Los Angeles Lakers fan at the moment.
Yep, no question. Exactly at the moment.
You could be a Charlotte Hornets fan tomorrow if LeBron was to find himself in Charlotte.
Yep.
You could be NBA. If LeBron decided to go to China, you'd be rooting for the Shanghai Sharks. But you were a LeBron James fan, so we had them much low. We had lower expectations for the Lakers going into this year. I was I was a skeptic last year when people were saying, "Oh, if AD just didn't get hurt, they would have steamrolled the Suns and all that." I feel vindicated. But with all that being said, you were a LeBron James fan. You were a Lakers fan. Just let it out. You have the floor to just say whatever you have to say about this Lakers team.
Let's start with the big piece that I could start with. Russell Westbrook, one of the more disappointing, embarrassing seasons I've ever seen from a point guard. Just the way he's handled his off-court demeanor was really low for me. I just could not get around how this guy could not accept any responsibility for his low play.
None.
Absolutely no responsibility. Almost sometimes deflecting blame with, I can't be myself here, or coaches and putting me in the right situations to excel. And I'm like, dude, you are shooting off the top of the backboard. You're throwing the ball to the other team quite a lot, and you aren't a good shooter at all. So
yeah,
he just completely had a really bad season. It was tough to watch.
But he led the Lakers in almost every statistical category. What are you talking about?
That's what we're all hearing today, which is just absolutely bullshit. That's always the first thing when it comes to defending Russell Westbrook is stats.
Always been.
It's always.
That's it. That's his only
ridiculous.
thing you can defend him. Yeah.
My heart goes out to Frank Vogel. I mean, the dude got handed a shitload of a roster. And I thought that he got handed a bunch of oranges and got asked to make lemonade, which is just what it was. He just got handed a bad roster, an old roster who couldn't defend, and who could only keep up their pace for about a half. And it's a lot of second halves and third quarters they would fade out.
Just don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't keep the same guys from last year in the bubble.
Yeah.
That recipe worked so well for them. They were so intimidating when they had that size.
They were so good.
Dwight and AD, LeBron, but then they'll have shooters. But I just remember watching them you can't beat these guys.
Yeah.
Defensive identity.
Willing defenders on the perimeter with KCP, Caruso. Oh my goodness. They were a really good
Who all excelled on other teams this year.
Yeah. Kuz kind of showed out. Yeah. Right. KCP,
Caruso before he got hurt.
And then Russell Westbrook, Frank Vogel, and then the last one, Day-to-Day Davis. I mean, so disappointing not to have our superstar, our second tier guy right next to LeBron James, not play any minute any real stretch of the season. And when I go back and when I hear about those guys talk, I mean, I like hearing exit interviews from teams that get bounced. I just want to hear what they like going to say about the season and like what they look to next year. And all of them had this like, oh, we couldn't really mesh together and play together because we were all injured. And I'm like, no, you're not pulling that off. You guys had stretches during the season where 3 of you were healthy and you didn't produce at all. And you lost to a bunch of teams that you should have lost. I don't want to hear that. But specifically back to Davis, this is bad. This is his second year in a row where he just could not stay healthy. And now the knock on him is, dude, this guy can't stay healthy at all because he came back into this season. If anyone wants to watch our playoff preview episode, when I mentioned I was reading all up on Anthony Davis, and he was saying, "Oh, my training regimen. I've been in the best shape of my life. You know, I had the hardest working off season ever. You know, I'm so committed to playing a full season." And he comes out and he's always hurt. And a part of me is sympathetic for him because some of his injuries are just, it's a guy falling straight into his knee. He's twisting his ankle. I feel bad for the guy. He's
injury prone. Some guys are just injury prone, you know, especially at that height.
No question. Yeah. And he, there's this defense of him that like he was a point guard in high school and he kind of grew just really quickly into this big forward. So he's not even accustomed to his own like NBA body yet. But
that's interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
Those are the 3 things that like I could really pinpoint to. I thought Frank Vogel had a really tough job. I thought the front office gave him shit. I thought Russell Westbrook had one of the more disappointing seasons a starting point guard could have, let alone the expectations of the Lakers, like childhood, like we're on an NBA team, like just straight up. As a player, as a starting point guard for an NBA team, that was abysmal. That was terrible. The terrible season he had.
Would you still do that trade again for AD?
Yes. It got me a championship.
It got the ring. Yeah,
it got me a championship. It's the bubble ring, you know. It's the lollipop ring, whatever you want to call it. But it's a championship, and
that's fair.
And I'll mortgage like 3 to 5 years of my future for one championship. I would take that deal for sure. Yeah. But yeah, it's just.
I mean, no, I feel you because at the end of the day, we played to win a championship. But man, it looks so bad for the future now. Because unless AD, I don't know, you know, Gabe, you know, Simmons and other people will say part of why he's been so injury prone the last 2 seasons, especially, was because of the weight he put on. Which I could hear that. And then, you know, I feel as if then it's like if he gets injured, people are gonna be like, oh, he's too skinny. So, you know, with that, I try to.
Exactly.
You know, you can't always play the results and shit, but I can see how him putting on weight slowed him down and just made it a heavier burden. But man, they traded so much picks. LeBron, I mean, who knows how long he's gonna stay? You know how he's always like, I gotta win a championship. He's either that or I guess the next thing is I gotta play with Bronny. So if you're the Lakers, I know you got the ring, but man, that's
kind of stuck for the next few years at least with Westbrook contract and LeBron and
there's no trade in that contract either, unless they're giving away picks.
Yeah.
First round picks too.
Yeah. Can I just plug this in really quickly? That Bronny kid sucks. I don't want to hear about it. Talking about that fucking 8-year-old kid that's still learning geometry. Like, don't want to hear it, dude. Like, shut up. Like,
I heard he did okay in the AAU circuit.
I'm sure he's very good compared to your average high schooler. However, can we just talk about the pressure? Can you imagine the pressure that LeBron's putting on his kid right now is immense.
Yeah.
And how can you not see that after somebody who's been destroyed by the media before he actually won a championship and he knows what pressure is all about? Why would you put that on your kid? Because sure, maybe they're like you and they rise to the occasion, but they probably won't. So just like in terms of parenting, because we never have anything bad to say about LeBron the person. For the most part, the worst, like we always say, the worst thing we could say about him is like the corny tweets in all caps, that stuff. But why would you do that to your son where you're basically setting it up like, oh yeah, he's going to the NBA. And it's not even a foregone conclusion. He's not a 6'8" demigod like his dad or like any of the top 10 picks these days. Where everybody is
a fact.
Everybody in the top 10 is like some 6'9" guy who can put it between his legs and pull up from deep and jump from the free throw line for a dunk. Like he's not that. So
not at all. This kid just got his own last name like last week.
That's tough. We're gonna see, but man, the Lakers.
I'm like there's this I'm like watching it closely. There's this group of like LeBron fans, like just like myself, that are starting their like post LeBron career transition to Bronny. And I'm just telling y'all right now, I'm not hopping on that.
You're not gonna be one of those guys.
No. I'm not, as a 25-year-old grown man, gonna hop on a little 9-year-old kid and 9th-grade-year-old kid and say this is the future of the league. Nah. Come on, I'm not going that low. But back to LeBron. Let's bring it back to the Lakers. He had a very good statistical year. Let's break LeBron James down objectively. He's not the LeBron of old where he can control a game, control a team's pace, control the whole team's pace for over a course of a season, and take guys under his back and go make a deep finals run. That's not LeBron anymore. He can give you, specifically for this team, he could give you 30 just because of the rest of the team's atrociously on offense. It's not that second primary ball handler. So it's more about just like inflated like usage rate. But he's not the LeBron I see from before. I'd still say he's a top 5 to 7. He's in that top lower end range.
Who want to go through it real quick? You want to go through it real quick? The obvious guys.
Off the top.
The obvious guys, Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Giannis.
Yep.
Okay, who else is obvious?
Jokic. Embiid.
Jokic for one game. All right. I guess that's a different question.
Are we doing, that's the thing. Are we doing one game? Because one game, LeBron's
night to night, Jokic is better than LeBron at this point.
No, just straight up, who's the better player? Who's the better player? You'd say Giannis, you'd say KD, you'd say Luka, you'd say Embiid, yep, no question. You'd say probably a healthy Kawhi at this point, but who knows what that is.
He's another big question mark.
That's
I'll
part
probably
of it,
say
though.
Luka at this point.
And I do say health is part of it.
Yeah.
Health is part of who you are as a player, where like you mentioned that with the Lakers injuries and you're not giving them a pass on it. You can't. And we said this last year. You're relying on an old man and an injury-prone center. Yeah. And everybody else are just parts and pieces. You have to expect like a combined 30 games missed in a year. You have to expect it. Unless you get lucky. Like 2020, they didn't have to go through the grind of an 82-game season and then the grind of the playoffs traveling back and forth. They got the bubble. And that did benefit them. Of course, everybody else had the same experience in the bubble. So I don't diminish the title too much. But that's what I'm saying. Health is part of it. So Kawhi, when he's healthy, but he's not always healthy.
Yeah. God, I can't even remember what he looks like healthy.
One thing with LeBron, I would say like he can, because he averaged 30 this season. He could do that if he's playing 50 games and it's, he's not playing. I mean, let's be honest. You don't play defense anymore. He kind of just floats on that end of the floor. But it's smart because he's trying to calculate. He's trying to preserve his body. So I never like use that as a knock against him. But that's the thing, like the night to night, every day, Bron is not that guy anymore. No, AD was supposed to be that guy. Like he's supposed to be in the prime of his career right now. He's supposed to be doing what Giannis is doing, what Jokic, Embiid.
When LeBron and AD first got together, these were supposed to be the years where LeBron gives him the keys.
Right. So true. Yeah. These past 2 years was definitely supposed to be AD at the wheel, but I don't know. Would you trade AD?
I don't like doing that. I don't, because at the end of the day, he's my biggest asset. So I would want to keep him, let alone, because if I'm trading him, then what am I doing? I'm gonna bring something back for this age LeBron.
I'm saying
you can't trade AD with LeBron still on the team. They would have to both leave because LeBron's not gonna let you trade AD or he'd sit a whole year out or some shit.
But if you're the Lakers, would you just set that domino in effect to kind of force Bron's hand and just say, you know what, we're not? Because if I'm the Lakers management,
I said that a month ago.
I
want the Lakers to trade LeBron.
This
is the first time in his career he doesn't have all the chips. He doesn't have all the power in his hands.
Yeah. I'm saying if you're the Lakers,
get something back from LeBron and build it around AD.
Nah, I'm saying
Oh, AD's going
You
too?
want to blow up shit.
Like, not really trade LeBron, but tell LeBron, like, yo, bro, it's time to go. Like, we're not extending you. And then send him to wherever he wants. Trade AD for try to get as much back as you could. The thing is, I don't know. It's tough, though, because if you're another team, like, past 2 years of AD, that's a tough sample size to trade off of. Like, if you have one strong AD from, October to June, like, if you had a good season to look back on that's not the bubble season, then, you know, I feel as if you can get more pieces because teams are going to be like, okay, this guy's worth a lot. But like now that I'm thinking about it in my head, what would be the asking price for AD? Probably not what the Lakers would want, considering.
No, but all of these scenarios would absolutely blow up Clutch Sports headquarters. God, holy shit! They would be.
Rich Paul would be sick as hell.
I can't even think about what reports would be coming out.
These things change too by like the fucking week.
Yeah.
Like, AD could start next year fucking 30 and 15.
Yeah.
And do that for 3 months and it's a completely this would just be a relevant conversation.
Facts.
Yeah. And we're hearing for Russell Westbrook, we can get Malcolm Brogdon and Buddy Hield from the Paint.
Yeah, right. Good luck.
I seen that. How you feel about that?
Hilarious, man. Like true, like that's like the absolute best case. Like,
that's a
God just sent us down.
Yeah, like, bro, that's a gift from the heavens. There's no way Indiana's that stupid, man. I pray at least they're not that stupid to do that.
No, so it's just to wrap up the Lakers. It was just a terrible season. They got basically all their moves of last year were to fail. I thought everybody's stock went low, except the only two I'd say is Austin Reeves and Malik Monk.
I agree.
I think those are the only two bright spots from the team. I thought Horton Tucker's stock went completely
sicko.
He's brutal to watch.
He's sick. That contract they gave him is disgusting, bro. My God.
He had a tough season for his stock. Anthony Davis, obviously, Russell Westbrook, obviously. And the little missing like plug-in pieces that they brought in never worked out. Ken Bazemore, Carmelo Anthony.
Kendrick Nunn never played.
Kendrick Nunn.
I mean, he would have been the difference maker.
Yeah,
it would be a 1 seed if he played.
You can never judge them because Kendrick Nunn never played, you know. So
it's tough,
it's tough this season. It's gonna be tough to move on.
Yeah.
Before we stop this conversation with the Lakers, speaking of, you know, optimism. How do you feel about your chances of getting a Nick Nurse? I heard that report.
I heard
that kind of chuckled.
I heard the Nick Nurse swap, and I absolutely died of laughter. Like,
Lakers fans are delusional, bro. Oh my God,
delusional. Yeah, like he's gonna leave a perfect situation. He's gonna get all the credit for Toronto's success right now because they don't have a superstar. So he's kind of getting that like college team. Like, I'm coaching all these mid-level talent to the playoff kind of credit, and he's gonna come to the Lakers and coach of a fucking mess. That's still one of the worst.
And then take all the blame.
It
is take all the blame
jobs right now. Yeah, no question. Like, that interview process must be like, yo, we're gonna give you a shitty roster, and if it doesn't work out, we're probably gonna put all the blame on you. But if you win, but if you win, the credit's gonna go to LeBron only.
Yes,
so it's
exactly.
But you'll get good weather. But you'll get good weather. They always want to break that up.
That's exactly it, bro.
I think they should get Magic to coach them.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on from this dumpster fire, man.
Yes. Okay.
Just depressing team.
So playoff predictions. You want to just go series by series? Basically, we'll start in the East, then head out west. Just your overall predictions. We can keep this under 40. Yeah. We can keep this around 40 minutes. This section of the pod. Let me pull it up. We can just start in the East, 1 versus 8. So we have Miami versus Atlanta.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts there?
You guys catch the Trae Young performance last night?
Yes. Fearless performance.
Atlanta's dangerous just because of him. Just because of him. I'd give him a puncher's shot. I like Miami just because Miami's probably going to swing around that tough defense. Bo will get them ready to play. They'll probably they got Jimmy and a couple other perimeter defenders to throw at Young and trap him well. I like their chances, but I think Trae can get a game or two in this.
So you have Miami in
6. I'd say 6.
I agree. 6. I agree for all of the same reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Same reasons, T. I think it's gonna be because that last matchup they had Jimmy guarding Trey. That size, you even seen it in that last game when they played Cleveland. That size was kind of bothering Trey when they was throwing like Jared Allen on him, fucking marking in Mobley. Because you look at it and you're like, all right, Trey, you should be by these dudes. But it's like it's a strategy to it where it's like they're just using that length to try to mess up his passing lanes and shit. I'll say I think Trey will make it interesting because he's that good offensively where he can just will a team for like a quarter and just keep his team in it. Right. But Miami has so much guys. One thing though I'm interested to see is Miami's closing lineups. Because that was an issue for them in the season where because they would have Jimmy out there with PJ Tucker and Bam. And when you like think about that, there's no space on the floor. And I remember the Bucks game specifically a month or two ago when that's how they closed the lineup. And there was just no space, bro. It was Butler was just running into whoever. But then the other side of that is you put up
confidence in his shot too.
Yeah, Jimmy, that top 10 shit post bubble, that's dead. Oh my God. That's so dead.
Yeah.
That's so dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miami got a little dilemma there with that closing lineup because if you go defense, you lose a lot of shooting. And I don't think they have like an offensive guy to just elevate them like how Brooklyn would, for example. Mm-hmm. But then if you throw in Robinson and Harrow or Strus, you go small, then that defense is lacking. So I think that problem won't be too much glaring in the Atlanta series, but down the road, I think Miami's going to have to figure that out. Bam is going to have to take like a super leap if they want to go far.
They're going to have to start clicking in terms of ball movement and all of those pieces and just the extra stuff that comes along with having a Jimmy Butler and a Kyle Lowry on your team. Just the extra toughness, that the way the playoffs slow down, all of that, getting in the other team's heads. I think that's all going to come into play and benefit Miami. But I do agree. They just don't feel like a 1 seed to me.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Even like Atlanta, I had no faith in Atlanta back in the day. You know who I'm talking about, the 4 All-Star, like the Kyle Korver, the Budenholzer, Atlanta.
Millsap.
They still felt like a 1 seed because of their regular season dominance. But this Miami team, I feel like they sort of just fell into the 1 seed.
Yeah, I feel like they had like stretches where they'd lose consecutive games. And I'm like, how has nobody passed them for that seed yet? But
credit to Spoelstra there, I'll say.
Yeah.
All the in and outs that they had to deal with. Bam was out for a lot. Jimmy
tried to fight
Lowry
him.
was in and out. Yeah, yo, T, what do you think about that situation?
Jimmy brings a lot of extra stuff to a team. Like, I don't know what the hell that was in terms of like this, like confronting your own coach. Like, I don't know. He strikes me as the type of guy that personally rubbed me the wrong way when I see shit like that. And Haslam was like, man, I'll beat that ass.
Haslam was ready.
He had the right mindset. He was like, yo, bro, you're supposed to have this dog mindset to the other team. Like, you're not supposed to like look your man in the eye and like want to confront them,
Yeah, that's a good point.
So yeah, he brings a lot of extra stuff to for sure that I don't really like.
I'll say Miami in 6 though.
Okay, so we all agree. Miami in 6. All right,
cool.
so now this series we'll probably spend a little more time on. Boston, Brooklyn. Jay, do you want to start this one off?
Yeah, okay, I'll start. This is gonna be an emotional series for your boy, guys.
Yeah.
I'm talking about there's gonna be times where I'm in a dark room and it's just me. And I'm gonna be happy. No matter what, bro, I'm gonna be sick and happy at the same time.
Yep.
No matter how this plays out, because the Celtics, obviously, that's the home team. Tatum, so proud of him to see him come this far. Like to see him come, man. JT, bro, to see like how he grew from his rookie year. To then he had, because he was even talking about it when he was on Reddick show, and then how he rookie year it was kind of like trying to figure it out with the Hayward injury. That second year was just a mess when Kyrie came back. I think the third year was the bubble year. I want to say it was the bubble year. That's when he turned up. But still, he was like, something's missing. And then, man, this year, like this dude, man.
Yeah,
he's on. I'm like, I know we're gonna do our awards, but he's on my All NBA team. I just want to give Tatum some love real quick.
Your All NBA first team.
First team, yeah, he's first team for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he got that. But as far as the series goes, man, I mean, I know for sure the Celtics are gonna go at that lack of size Brooklyn has. They're gonna hunt out Seth Curry. They're gonna hunt out Kyrie, and that's where if I'm Nash, man, you're gonna have to figure out who to put. Like, you're gonna have to figure out what the sacrifice is: small and shooting, or size and defense and lack of shooting, and then it really is just KD, Kyrie bail us out every possession. So that's going to be a little chess match to look out for. And then, of course, you know, the other big thing with this series is the 2 injuries on both sides. Simmons for Brooklyn, Time Lord for Boston. Looks like Simmons, they're saying games 4 through 6. With Time Lord, there's no like set game, but they say it's optimistic that he might come back. So that's another thing. Like this series, man, it's going to go 7.
7.
You think it's going 7, huh?
I think it's going to go 7 for sure. I'm leaning, man, I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm leaning Boston, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm leaning Boston, but obviously we know what those 2 guys are capable of. They could just, you know, they could take over a game, but I'm leaning Boston the more I think about it. Just because that size, man, they're gonna punish Brooklyn, bro. Yeah. They're gonna punish Brooklyn, and then they're gonna make Brooklyn, like, they're gonna go at Brooklyn defensively, and then they're gonna make Brooklyn guard them on offense. Brooklyn does not have that same luxury. They're just gonna go at them on offense. And honestly, it's easier to guard. Like, it's not easier to guard, you know, KD or Kyrie, but it's easier to guard dudes who's just pulling up for jump shots rather than, you know, slashing and kicking the way the Celtics play. So it's going to be an interesting series, man. I will say, I think I said this last episode too, the winner of this is to the finals.
Okay.
I feel good about that. So
okay.
We'll see how it plays out. I'll say Boston in 7, not feeling strong about that, but just to give y'all a pick, I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah. Just to follow up on that. I think Brooklyn beat the brakes off the Celtics.
Wow.
I think I think they beat the brakes off the Celtics. I think
interesting.
That part of it too is just a little Celtics hate for me, but I think that KD and Kyrie, I think they've pretty much got in tune now and aligned together. They're on the same page. Kyrie at the beginning, you know, there was speculation he's out of shape, you know, like or not out of shape, but just the I mean, this guy's a part-time worker for the past getting thrown into a full-time job. Like,
fair questions.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of questions on Brooklyn's defense, and I get it, but it's a playoffs. I think they lock in. I don't think they're a bad defensive. They have bad defensive players. I think Kyrie can play defense, individual defense when challenged and wanted to. I think KD's an excellent defender. Bruce Brown. They have guys that can defend. I just think the season's been tough on them for all of them to get on the same page. And for Boston, I think Rob Williams is a huge loss. I really do. I think that was their one matchup that they could really exploit, their size matchup against Brooklyn. But Brooklyn, too, they got Drummond there playing some good basketball and holding the paint. So I can understand why you would say the winner goes to the finals, because both of these teams are good teams. I definitely don't doubt that when I predict that Brooklyn wins this in 5. But I think that when I watch Brooklyn and Milwaukee play together, I think those are the 2 best teams in the East. I think they just play high-level basketball too much together, and I think that Brooklyn just eases this out in 5. But Boston's had a great year. There's no doubt about that.
5, T? Not even 6?
5.
Wow.
I think Brooklyn gets it in 5.
We all feel completely different. We as different as 3 different guys, as 3 guys could feel about a one series.
Yeah.
I have Boston in 6.
Interesting.
And here's a few things. Brooklyn, yes, they controlled that entire game against Cleveland, but it wasn't a blowout.
No.
And they had phenomenal performances from their 2 best players. And then Cleveland didn't even win the next game. Not saying that, take that with a grain of salt. You know, NBA is a game of matchups. And speaking of matchups, like you said, Jay, like, it's much harder to defend the slash and kicking, and it's a lot harder to defend the way the Celtics play opposed to the Nets shooting. There's that, right? But there's also the fact that the Celtics are just an all-time defensive team, and they're a much better defensive team than the Nets. The Nets are not.
Yeah.
Can they turn it up? Will they turn it up? Yes, they're going to turn it up in the playoffs, but so are the Celtics. I think through Kyrie and KD, the Nets are going to win a couple of games. Yeah. But eventually, the stress of this series and everything, I'm not sure if certain guys on the Nets will be able to hold up physically. That's just been the case with this team in the past. And yeah, it might be similar to last year where I feel like it could be very similar to the Bucks series last year, but I don't think it's going 7. And also, it feels a lot like people are talking about this the way they talked about the Bills and Chiefs game in the NFL playoffs, where it's, the winner of this is going to going to the Super Bowl, and then the Chiefs lost the next game, I could easily see whoever loses this series losing the next round to whoever.
Whoever wins gets Milwaukee next.
I was gonna say, like, because they're playing Milwaukee.
Right.
And Milwaukee's gonna be rested because
Philly. If it was like Philly waiting for either of these teams in the next round, I'd have either of these teams, whoever wins, is at least in the conference finals. But
yeah,
I would not be surprised at all. I'm not gonna make any prediction now because I want to see how these two teams look in the playoffs. But I would not be surprised at all if whoever wins this series loses to Milwaukee next.
Yeah.
Because the defending champs it's just different when you're playing a defending champion. We even saw it with Toronto without Kawhi in the bubble with the Celtics. Like that team there was nothing going on with that team. They had no
after that OG
all-star
buzzer.
They had no legitimate all-star in the Celtics. It still went to 7 games, right?
Yeah.
So like I think people forget about that. Of course, I'm sort of jumping ahead of schedule. We haven't gotten to Milwaukee yet, but I think this is going to be a really good series. I think Tatum's going to play really well. I just hope everybody on the Celtics shows up. I know certain guys will. Like, people are scared of Marcus Smart last minute taking a shot, all that. He rises to the occasion during the playoffs.
He won't be afraid.
He always does. He's a guy who frustrates me during the regular season with the extra shots, which he hasn't really done this year in the flopping and all of that.
Yeah.
So I have to disagree with T and slightly disagree with J and say Celtics in 6, and I will not feel my heart will not be split.
Yeah.
I am forever green, as you can see with this hat.
How do you guys feel about Simmons returning? Do you think he's going to have an impact?
That's a
do you
good
think
question.
that changes? Because
I don't even know if he will. I don't even know if he will, man. I don't even know if he's going to return.
I think T answered this question. T's answer is that. So T, you're not feeling the Simmons return? You think it's just
I'm not feeling
smoke and mirrors?
I'm supposed to feel something about this guy returning. This guy's an absolute nutcase, man. He's gonna miss a couple of shots, get scored on, and then pull the mental health card for a couple games. No.
So you think it's a bad idea to bring him in?
I think at best he could be a body for them. He could be maybe a screener for them if Boston decides to trap KD and Kyrie. Sure, it would be nice to have Simmons roll into the basket with probably shooters on both corners, and he can make those decisions. I like that, sure. But this guy hasn't played basketball in God knows when.
A year?
I don't expect him to return in this series.
Me neither.
I don't think he's coming back at all.
He's gonna return.
I think it's all.
I think he'll definitely return. Y'all think it's like the Nets are just straight up.
There's gonna be some bullshit in a week.
Yeah.
Talking about whatever.
Setback and ramping.
I don't want to see or hear Ben Simmons reports. I'm not,
I'll believe it when I see it, honestly.
Did y'all see the video of him today? That shit had me sick, bro. He was at the shooting round with the team, and some reporter was recording, and then Simmons goes to the reporter, "Hey, make sure you catch this," and then does like a baby dunk. And then like what, bro? What is that supposed to mean? Yeah, I didn't get it. That's the type of shit that worries me with this kid's mindset. In theory, though, like I agree with you, T. Like in theory, Ben Simmons on this team is scary because you got a guy who's just up and down the floor. He's passing, but again, that's in theory. The Ben Simmons that's gonna come back, like y'all mentioned, hasn't played in a year. And if I'm the Celtics, I'm going right. I'm making his ass work, bro.
Yeah.
Like
put him at the free throw line.
He might be able to guard on ball, like just because he has size. But if he's like off the ball, I'm running. I'm making him go through picks. I'm sending 1 million picks on him. And then, like you said, Gabe, I'm putting him on the line because fuck it. Like, let's see what you're made of. If you really want to come back for the playoffs. But I don't know. He's such an X factor though, because logic tells us he's probably going to be a shell of himself if he returns. But there's a world where if this guy like figures it out, if somehow him playing with KD and Kyrie like puts him in this comfort, like the sort of safe space,
which we thought, which was best case scenario when they first made the trade. We were saying that on this podcast.
Exactly.
He would be. This is the perfect situation for him to fall in outside of like a prime Golden State. You know, it's the perfect situation in the past 10 years, like with these all-time scorers that he doesn't need to do shit on the offensive end except set them up for scoring and all that.
Set them up. That's it.
You haven't played basketball in over a year, and this is your first time stepping on an NBA court is during the playoffs against like an all-time defensive team. Good luck. Just good luck.
Yeah. Bad recipe. Yeah. So you got Brooklyn in 5. No, you said Brooklyn in 5, T. I say Boston in 7, but it's right now. I'm just to give you all an answer. I'll say Boston in 7, but it's really a toss up for me. And Gabe, you say Boston in 6.
I have Boston in 6. Yes.
Okay.
We have a consensus of Boston here.
It's gonna be a good series, man. Whew.
Right there. All right.
All right, so
And quick shout out to Ime Udoka, man.
yes,
I feel the urge to always shout him
Deserve-
out every
deserve
episode.
it.
I don't know why. He's just the way he turned those boys around, the whole season around.
Yeah.
Worthy of Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
and let's move on. We only
Yeah.
spend too much time on this series, which is why I'm kind of happy I mentioned the Bucks a little bit in the last in our last piece. We have the Bucks and the Bulls.
The
And the
champs.
Bulls area, we were saying we were wrong about them earlier in the season, but they really fell right where we all predicted they would.
Yeah,
In our NBA preview.
none of us were
I
high
had
on
them
right?
between 6, 8, 9 range falling into, and that's right where they fell.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they are a pretty good team, but they're not. They never beat anybody good, and I think Milwaukee's going to sweep them.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sweep.
I
Okay.
don't
Yeah,
think
I'm going to
that.
sweep. That crowd's going to be
I like
crazy
that.
though.
Yeah.
That
Chicago, yeah.
that Chicago crowd's going to be losing it.
Yeah, United Center. Yeah, yeah. You're not crazy at all by saying a sweep. I agree with you. I think this is a 4-0 series. I think Milwaukee turns on the Jets. They're going to ramp up for their championship run, and Chicago just fell off the second half of the season. My goodness. They started red hot too, though. That was the thing.
They're a one seed.
Yeah, I think they had one. Did they at one point have the best record in the NBA?
Yeah,
Probably.
for a while. They like the first third of the
maybe.
year.
Because Phoenix
Golden State. The
Phoenix
Warriors
has been
started off
insane all
crazy.
year.
Yeah.
And
But-
Golden State started off very hot.
But they was in that discussion.
What's
for
the point
sure.
of it?
Yeah.
They started off very hot and fell low. I don't like a team falling off that low in the playoff time. So I have it 4-0 as well.
Yeah, I'll probably I think I got it at a sweep as well. I will say to defend Chicago a little bit when Caruso and Lonzo went out with those injuries, that really hurt their defense, like to the point where it was just irrecoverable. And then Levine had the knee issue, and I don't think he's ever been the same since, to be honest. DeRozan had a stretch, bro, where I thought this dude was like MJ, bro.
Yeah.
He's doing 35 every night, 30, 35,
I had him
35.
in an MVP discussion at one point.
Yeah, he was moving crazy in the beginning of the year, but like y'all said, they kind of came back to reality. I guess, I don't know, if you're Chicago, I'm trying to see what optimism that maybe Patrick Williams takes a leap, but I don't know. He missed a lot of the year because I know that's going to be the guy they're going to throw on Giannis. It's Patrick Williams for sure.
Yeah.
But,
oh God, please don't be Vucevic. That guy's
no. Vucevic. So Vucevic, another guy, man. I'm so like disappointed in the season he had. This dude is like, he's like Daniel Tice, bro.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like their anchor on the
team. He's just there for the vibes, bro. He's not really doing anything. So I mean, Patrick Williams on Giannis, that would be something to look out for. Drew's gonna take out whoever, if it's Levine or DeRozan, like he's not gonna take him out, but he's gonna make it hard on them. And then that's it. Like if you're Chicago, where's your offense coming from? So Bucks and 4. This is gonna be an easy one.
Bucks and 4. Okay. All right.
Toronto and Philly.
Yep.
This is a fun series. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
This could go a couple different ways, and this is going to have, if Philly is to lose, it would have crazy like postseason implications.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of questions
like
about
after the season. We're in the postseason, I guess, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of questions about handing Harden that $200 max extension.
Yeah, I think that's suicide, bro. If a team does that,
yeah, it depends. You have to look at the run, Jay. I feel like if they have a long postseason run, you might have to say, you know what, we're gonna invest 2 to 3 years of this Harden and Embiid era and see what we could get. If they flame out, it's gonna be so tough to give him that contract. But a lot of people are interested in this series because Toronto has those long 6'9", 6'7" defenders to throw on Harden to make it uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Which is no doubt true.
And no Thibault in Toronto.
In Toronto, he's not. Yeah,
it's important.
I like Philadelphia in the series. I'm going to take them in 6. I think that I think that regardless of Toronto's play hard, play fun, whatever those college teams like how to try to play for in the NBA when they don't have that superstar. I think it flames out because Embiid's just such a monster. They're going to have a hard time giving trouble to Embiid and Harden at the same time. So I got the Sixers. I'm going to take the star power here, but Toronto's probably not going to be a walkover for that.
How do you feel, Gabe?
Yeah, I said damn it when T said that. I feel the exact same way. I think Toronto can steal a couple games because of the Thibault situation, because I don't trust really anybody on Philly. But at the end of the day, Embiid's been one of, if not the best player of the season, and he's going to dominate in this series. Uh,
Yeah.
he's going to have some monster nights, and it's going to be. I feel like this is going to be a weird series where every win's going to be a blowout. Whoever wins, like Toronto's going to blow out Philly a couple of games, and people are going to be going crazy the next morning. But at the end of the day, Philly's going to take care of business. But that's
Yeah.
the last series I'd say that about Philly with.
So I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys. I think Toronto's gonna pull this out. I
Oh,
think Toronto in 7. I think it's gonna be a long
Hey.
series, but my reason for it is Harden is, I mean, unless he's really been tricking everybody on some just all-time, just guy's just the ultimate scammer. He's not the same guy from 2 years ago, bro. Like, there's no way this dude is about to just go on this glorious run and carry a whole offense.
no way.
And they're gonna throw defenders. They're gonna put Scotty Barnes on him. They're gonna put OG on him. Like, these are real defenders that, like you said, T, length, size, and with Nick Nurse, like you said, they got that college type mindset where it's like play hard all the time, sort of. Like when you, I don't know, when you have guys who buy in like that when they're just athletes already and they're playing so hard, that's tough. And I think this, as the series goes on, I think it's going to be really taxing on Embiid. And I think that's honestly the main reason why I think Philly's going to lose. He's going to be dominant games 1 through 5, but maybe even 1 through 4, but games 5, 6, 7 now, because I mean, we've seen this movie with Embiid before. The dude runs out of gas, bro, if it's a long series. And Toronto, they're going to make him work. They're going to make him guard Siakam on the perimeter. Like, if I'm Nick Nurse, I would just throw like have size, but everyone that could shoot. Just make him beat guard everyone. And then on the other end, just throw all the size at him and force Maxey to beat you. Force fucking George Niang to beat you. Like, if I'm Toronto, that's my approach to this series. And I don't know, guys. I think this might be it for Harden, man. This series just might be like
this would be the nail in the coffin to Harden if he had flaming out in this series.
I think it's gonna be the nail in the coffin, bro. I think
unless he can come up with an excuse.
Yeah, unless another hamstring.
He seems to find he's good.
But yeah, I don't know. Toronto, this is a bad matchup for Philly, man. And it's gonna be interesting to see because I remember when Philly played Brooklyn, the first game since the trade, and KD said post game, we just know they couldn't run, so we just ran with them.
Right.
Like, we just ran on them because we knew that they were. He said they were going to make second and third efforts. Pretty sure we knew he was talking about there. But like, Nick Nurse is probably the smartest coach in the league. You think he didn't see that and says, okay, we're going to make Philly run. So I don't know. And then, like you mentioned, they have no Thibault, so then you lose another primary defender. You're asking Harden.
You're making very good points, Jay, right now.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to come over to your side.
Like, I really
I'm gonna stick with my pick though.
Win. No, it's fair. I mean,
because Philly, of Embiid, I'm sticking with my pick. But you make a very, very good case.
Philly has the ceiling. They obviously the talent rises to the top, especially in the playoffs. But I think this is just that weird, specific situation / series where Philly's definitely the more talented team, but this matchup is just like worst case scenario. Yeah. I think. For
a round one series,
especially for round one. So I don't know. I think, and then they got OG coming back. I seen a stat. The Raptors are like 31-17 with OG. It's like a top 3 seed. He's coming back. Precious is like Chris Bosh 2.0 now. When he was in Miami, Mans is hitting pull-up threes now. Like, Toronto is just like, that's a wacky ass team, but that's a scary team.
Yeah, and that's another crowd that's gonna be losing it. All the crowds in this playoffs, because it's a lot of like
playing crowds have been so good.
Yeah, it's a lot of returns to teams that have been in a certain city for years.
Yeah, facts. So yeah, I'll say Toronto in 7.
I respect it. All right, so you have 7, and me and T have Philly in 6, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I should be writing this shit down, by the way. I'll do it after. I'll remember who everybody picked after. Let's go over to the Western Conference, and let's start with Suns and Pelicans.
Yeah, I'm glad you started with this series because this one it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Props to the Pelicans, though. Feel good story. Yeah, they're gonna lose by 20 every game.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're a Pelicans fans right now, what's your feeling towards Zion?
Who?
Zion. Like, if you're like a Pels fan, don't.
No, I heard you, bro.
Yeah, I knew it.
Just extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be my future. Like he's everything that my like franchise is investing in, and he's not even willing to text CJ when he comes in. I mean, this guy's like the NBA.
Doesn't
He
make any
has the
sense.
franchise on his back, and his phone's 24/7 on Do Not Disturb.
It's so weird. And then he has a dunk contest.
I knew you were gonna say. I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
That should get no bad practice. That
It
actually,
makes no
I would be
sense.
pissed,
It
bro, if I
makes
was a
no
fan.
sense. You shouldn't. If you're injured or whatever the fucking case is,
Yeah.
why can you do like things that no other person can do?
He's doing like
before the
360 between the leg dunks, bro.
It-
Talking about
I'm so
out
curious.
indefinitely.
I'm so curious to see what will
Shit is
come out of this
wild.
in 2 years. Like, will the real story come out? Because there's something we don't know, and we'll
Yeah,
either
for
feel
sure.
bad for Zion or something, or we'll say it's fucking bullshit,
Yeah.
and he's a bust at this point, the most talented bust ever. But if
his
you're not
numbers are
gonna show up, unless
his
he's eating his way out of there, it's just weird. It's just
It's
weird.
so weird,
super
bro.
weird, super weird, super weird. But the Pelicans are gonna get their breaks beaten
Yeah,
off.
it's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
It sucks too, because that's literally the Pelicans. All they're missing is Zion. You add Zion to that team, bro. I think like a healthy Zion, they probably a five seed. They could be a 5 seed, I think. With
You're
CJ,
not
the way
yeah.
BI has came up.
You're not
Herbert
CJ,
Jones.
big year for CJ. Big year in the way everybody views him. I'm very happy.
I'm
for
happy
him.
for CJ.
Yeah,
Facts.
too. Yeah, he kind of came out of Dame's shadow a little bit and kind of
Yeah, for sure. He's like basically their point guard, and he's doing a really good job at it.
Yeah. But
But
with
yeah,
all that being
Suns-
said, they're gonna get the breaks beaten off them.
Yeah, nah, the Suns are like that's scary, bro. How good that team is.
That's a championship team. Yeah.
Yeah, you got them. I mean, I know we don't want to do this. We're doing series by series, but do you guys have Phoenix in the finals?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Just quick answer.
So do
type
we want to
shit.
call this? Do you want to do this every round?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could do this every round.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a preview of each round.
So we'll come
Its
back
own
in a
show.
couple weeks for round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just
I like
realized
that.
I think we called it the playoff preview, but we're only doing round 1 because
Yeah.
we don't know what's going to come
Yeah,
with round
it's
2.
impossible to.
So
tell.
we'll rename this round 1 playoff prediction.
Yeah, round 1.
We got Dallas and Utah next in the 4-5. Dallas,
Just remind me.
my heart breaks for them that they got Luka on a strained calf on the last game.
Last
of the season.
game, bro. Can you believe that?
That's a franchise. That's like your worst nightmare to have.
Yeah.
Your LeBron, like your Kawhi.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. That's a legit nightmare.
For that reason, I still have them beating in 5 just because. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
I'm not going to disrespect Utah like that. I think Utah would win the series strictly. I want to make this very clear.
Utah has a special place in your heart.
Strictly because it's an injury to Luka Doncic. If Luka was healthy, I'd take the Mavs, but this is strictly an injury ridden result. I think that Utah will beat the Mavericks just because the Mavericks are Luka. He's their engine.
Yeah, exactly.
He runs their whole offense is predicated around his ball handling. So Utah, I'd say Utah in 5 at the most. Down.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. Without Luka, this team is just like, people are like Dinwiddie and Brunson, like they're good players, they're specifically good on this team because of Luka, because of his ability, that high pick and roll, which is it's unguardable, bro. He brings whatever big pal, usually he'll bring them out to the top, pick and roll, surround them with shooters, bro. He's making the right play every time.
Yep.
10 times out of 10.
And then you want to switch him, he's gonna do that dance. Big.
And the thing, and this is why I'm worried, and this is why I go Utah. I'd probably say 6 for now. But the thing is, so it's a calf injury, right?
Yeah.
When I think of Luka, like his specialty to me, like obviously the passing, the playmaking, but it's that start ability where he'll be by you and then he'll stop, body you,
which direction?
Crazy European type
Mhm.
finish. And when you think about that, that's a lot of like calf, your heel, that's like a lot of movement around there. And it's the same injury KD had 2 years ago. And you saw, I mean, he took 39 days off, came back first game towards Achilles. So that's a really brutal injury for Dallas. And it sucks because the past 2 years, Dallas had the fucking Clippers in the first round. It's like the hardest possible first round opponent. The 1 year they get this mess of a Utah team, Luka's out with an injury. It's just I fucking hate Utah, bro. They're so lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, Utah in 6, I guess.
Gabe, what you think?
I have the Mavericks in 7.
Oh, I like that.
I do. I think
Why?
even on the calf, like this Utah team is so toxic, and this just is set up for. Is Utah the 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no.
No, Dallas, because they're home today. Dallas is 4. Yeah.
It still stands. I have Dallas winning in 7. I think.
So you
I
think
could
Luka comes
totally see
back?
Utah. There isn't a lot of analysis with this take. I can just totally see Utah blowing like a 15-point lead in the third quarter of Game 7 to Dallas. We're recording this right now on Saturday afternoon, and Dallas, even without Luka, is hanging around with Utah. And like you guys said, Luka is their motor, but they still have some talented guys. They just don't have guys who can really like take a last shot,
Yeah,
even
that's the
remotely.
problem.
Where like the Celtics have Jaylen Brown, even though he's not that guy.
Yeah.
Where Milwaukee has Chris Middleton,
Mm-hmm.
Giannis, even Drew. Like I feel like they don't even have somebody like Drew on Dallas.
Like Drew would be the best shot creator probably on Dallas right now.
Like I would even with Cleveland last night, you have
really?
Garland, and I would even trust Mobley. There's nobody on Dallas I would trust as much as Mobley. That being said, they're still hanging around right now. I'm gonna take Dallas in 7.
Yeah, Utah, man, like that team, bro.
I just don't trust them.
Yeah, I can't trust them. It's funny because I remember they traded. Remember after the deadline, they traded for Rudy Gay. If you see Utah fans, it's like, here we go. Here's our savior.
Yeah.
Small ball
That's
5.
insane.
This is what
Rudy
we was
Gay.
waiting for. Yeah, Utah fans were so gassed, bro, when they got him. And then it's funny because 10 games in, Quinn Snyder immediately realized this guy's washed. He went back to putting Whiteside on the floor when Gobert's not on the floor. Mitchell just looks sick. Every second I see him on the floor, when he has to put on that jersey and be Rudy Gobert's teammate, bro, you can just see the sickness in his face. So with all that being said, man, like you said, Gabe, it's a toxic team. It's just that, like, I think this is finally the year. It's good for them, man. Just let them put their own misery
I've heard
to bed.
stories about Quinn Snyder. He's looking at other jobs right now.
Yeah, see, bro, they checked out.
There's statistics out there on Twitter of Rudy, the amount of times Mitchell has passed the ball to Gobert is less than the amount of times like Joe Ingles has, and like it's in like a quarter of the games.
I think I seen another stat. It was like the amount of times Mitchell has more turnovers than passes to Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Which is just, that's like,
bro. You can act like it's not a thing. It's a thing, and we all know it.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have this information. They don't make this. I know the media can make shit up. They don't go this far. And why would they with this Utah
for the Jazz?
It's right. They're not the Lakers. They're not the New York Knicks. They're not the Celtics. They're not an all-time franchise.
Mitchell to the Knicks after this?
Might be.
Possibly.
Probably not.
Definitely, yeah. There's definitely going to be rumors that he's gone for sure.
I can't see any legit guy going to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Ever. That's another thing I'll believe when I see. So yeah, I have Dallas in 7. I do.
I like that pick though. Yeah.
I like that pick too.
I like it. Thank you. We can move on to Golden State Denver. This is a series.
Spicy series.
Here's my take for this series. I think it's going to be very sloppy. This is very I feel like both these teams are good. They both have like NBA Hall of Famers on them.
Yeah.
However, Denver's roster is just not there. Jokic has been incredible. And Golden State, they're just sloppy. They just get sloppy sometimes, and they're super talented, but it's always been a thing with them, with a few exceptions, a few 2017, those playoff runs. But Steph, I think it's just Steph's DNA where he fucks around. I'm still gonna take Golden State. Clay's looked a lot better.
Yes,
and I don't feel as strongly as I wish I did about them because I love Golden State. Not only has my expectations for them dropped, but my heart, like just watching them and everything, maybe it's because of Draymond. Because I like Draymond, but sometimes he says too much.
A lot of chatting.
Part of my heart has just gone to Phoenix, where I just love watching them play. I want to see Chris Paul win a ring. Who knows? Chris Paul might pull some bullshit like he did in the finals last year. I'm getting off topic right now. Like he did in the finals last year, where I forget what he did, but he did some dirtbag shit. I think to Giannis.
He's always doing some fuck
where
shit.
He throws shit like that, where it's like, okay, I hope you lose now, but we'll see. I'm gonna take Golden State in 5.
Oh, so quick one. Okay.
Yeah, I don't trust that Denver roster to hold up.
Yep. That's
and for every night after night, Jokic was amazing all year. I think night after night, Golden State's going to have different answers to the Jokic equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, T?
I think this matchup's pretty simple to me. I agree with Gabe. I'm taking Golden State in 5. I think just Nuggets roster can't hold up again this late in the season. I think Jokic, Golden State's going to come up with a good game plan for him just because Nuggets roster is just depleted. I mean, Jamal Murray's been gone for a long time. It feels like they've really
it's tough, man.
Yeah. And I think Golden State, even I can see why Gabe said he thought it would be a sloppy series just because the Nuggets, again, are shorthanded and Golden State's kind of going through this weird phase where Steph's coming back. And there's just a lot of moving pieces. Jordan Poole's like kind of moving up the hierarchy over Clay, which is kind of an interesting dynamic for them. So, but I think this is quick too as well. I think GSW gets this in 5 games. Yeah, I'd say 5.
Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. I'll say Golden State in 5. With Jokic, like he's gonna get his, but like y'all said, they're gonna make it hard. They're probably gonna throw Looney on him and then just not like really double because I think they trust Looney to hold his weight against Jokic as far as like just backing him down. But they're gonna send those little shades of double teams, and that's just gonna make it hard. Like those Denver shooters have to be ready, bro. Like that's the only chance Denver might make this. They might steal a game or two is if they just get hot from 3 because those guys are locked in and ready. But yeah, man, you mentioned Jordan Poole. You guys already know how I feel about him. Most improved player for me.
Yeah, Jay was on him very early.
Yeah, that's my dog, man. And then it's crazy because they're probably like the closing lineup for Golden State. It's probably going to be a combination of Steph, Clay, and Poole. And I want to say the last play. Yeah, that's scary. That's scary.
I like that.
With Draymond and then pick your poison. Wiggins, maybe Kuminga. I think Kuminga might see some action because that kid's scary. But yeah, they was running some actions Golden State where it was like, instead of having Draymond come set the pick, they'll have Clay come set the pick. So if they're blitzing, because teams like love to blitz Curry, they'll just have Curry just drops off Clay or Poole, and that's an easy wide open 3 for guys who's shooting 37 plus from the field from 3. Yeah. So that's just a matchup nightmare for for Denver. It sucks too because Denver, man, this is like they kind of just lost 2 years, similar to the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
No, last year was everyone had them as a potential team to go to the finals. That didn't work out. This year is another lost year. So we'll see. Maybe next year's the year. But Golden State, man, I think this is gonna be a quick one.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, who do we have next? You wanna
finally we have Memphis and Minnesota.
Our last series.
Where I felt after them. Go on.
Gabe. Why is everyone getting on Memphis for winning that playing game like that?
For Minnesota? That's what me and Gabe was saying, bro. Yeah. Let them enjoy it.
Sorry, Minnesota. Yeah, why is everyone getting on them like that? I felt
salty.
It's just like it's Minnesota, dude. Minnesota's probably one of the franchises in the NBA that's never won a championship.
Yes.
So I don't know. I didn't like that. I thought
forget a championship team. They've won like one playoff game in the past two decades.
Yeah, never made the finals. So that I even liked it more that the players weren't animated. I was just like, okay, like that was enjoyable to watch.
It's because it was Pat Bev.
Yeah,
people don't like him, which they. There's a good reason not to.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's good reasons.
But and then Towns, it was the nature of the win.
It was goofy as hell. Yeah, it's nothing
Towns
you should get mad at.
Jay, like you said, Towns getting married at half court after fouling out.
Towns, man, like if someone's to be like, if people are gonna be upset, I'll be upset with Towns. Like, bro, you had 6 points, you fouled out, you was an absolute disaster from the tip, and he's over here just like making out with Jordan Woods at the half court on some like, I go back to this, like what are you guys going back to?
Right.
Like, it gave me those type of vibes. So. That I could see how people were annoyed by, but let the fans and shit have their moment.
Yeah, I think they could be a little dangerous in this series. I'm going to take Memphis, but I think Minnesota at their best is like a team that probably bothers you that you probably just don't want to see just because they have young talent. But I think Memphis, as much of a dog that Minnesota thinks they're gonna bring, I think Memphis brings that in with them. Mm-hmm. Memphis is a dog show. They got young guns that want to play good and they have talent too. So I'm not picking any team in the playoffs to match up with Memphis, and they outdog them. So I'll take Memphis. I'll take Memphis in a really, really good 5. In a really good 5.
Okay.
All right, you, Gabe.
We see the end of that game, And I'm like, yo, this Minnesota team's really like that, and this is going to be a really fun series. In the days after, I've thought about it, I've sat on it. Memphis is just really fucking good. They were really good without John Morant. Like T said, Minnesota, they're all about like, they have dog in them. They're not going to outdog Memphis. I think we've kind of got caught in the moment. We got caught in the magic of that night in Minnesota.
I mean, they won the championship.
Romance was in the air. Heroes were born.
Tears,
it was a coming out party for Anthony Edwards. I got Memphis in 4.
Oh, sweet.
It could get ugly. Yeah. It could get ugly, especially if Cat doesn't show up the way he didn't show up the other night. Because Memphis isn't gonna let that slide, and Cat's gonna have to deal with Jaren Jackson Jr. and they're gonna have to. There was nobody on the Clippers like John Morant.
No.
Yeah, that's
and the Clippers team is not as well rounded as this Memphis team. So I really have to go with John. Like, let's not forget how good of a year John Morant had.
Yeah.
Playoff discussion. He's not going to win it, but he found himself in there. There's nobody on the Clippers like that. That was a close game, and it was at home. I got Memphis in 4.
Yeah, I'm about to zag on you guys again.
Don't fucking say Minnesota.
I got Minnesota, but no, I'm playing. I think Memphis is gonna win, but I got Memphis in 7. I think this.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Put it on Instagram.
That's the craziest take of today.
Yeah, for sure.
Really? I mean, I don't know, man. I think
you were hyping up Minnesota before the year started, didn't you?
Yeah, those were my guys from the start. So how can I not, stick to my guys? No, but honestly, I think it's 2 young teams. I know Memphis is so way more talented for sure. Ja is the top athlete, but Anthony Edwards is probably like a teeny bit behind him as far as athletic force. I know Ja's a better
athleticism.
Player,
they could be equals.
Honestly, maybe
jumping ability probably
might be more athletic. Ant might be more athletic just because of the size and he's like a football player, bro. It's crazy. So I think that matchup is going to be fireworks. Cat, see, this is where I could just eat shit because if Cat
D'Lo, you don't know what D'Lo you're gonna get.
Oh, D'Lo's gonna go dog out.
D'Lo's jokes. I know he's definitely jokes, but I'm not gonna lie, he was doing his thing at the end of that Clippers series, and for most of the season, he's been doing an okay job as far as facilitating and getting guys involved. But I don't know, the Wolves, they got guys, they got that kid McDaniels, Malik Beasley, they're just gonna shoot a bunch of threes. They got the talent as far as one-on-one scores with Cat. The thing is, Cat, man, if Cat just pulls what he did in the Clippers game, if he has 2 of those games in the series,
I'm
done with you guys. It's Memphis in 4, maybe 5. But if Cat can really lock in, because that's the thing, him and Jaren Jackson, those are 2 guys that love to foul a lot. Jaren Jackson, defensive player of the year candidate, but he's always fouling. Ant and Cat, they're gonna attack him. So. This series, I think it's just going to be a coach's X and O dreams. It's going to be a lot of adjustments and shit. It's going to be a fun one. So I'll say Memphis will win just because I think they have more talent, but I don't think it's they're just head and shoulders more talented than Minnesota. So I'll say, and another thing is Memphis, I get they were so good without Ja this year, but I don't know, bro. That shit still doesn't make sense to me. How are y'all 19-2 without Ja? They were better without Ja. And that's probably maybe I'm looking at that the wrong way. Maybe I should be looking at that and say, okay, that's probably why Memphis is gonna wipe these dudes. But I don't know. That's a little weird to me that they're just. I don't know. I don't understand this Memphis team, to be honest. I don't get them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I have it going long. So, but they should definitely come out this series for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay, I had a question that I wrote down earlier in the week that is unrelated to the Memphis Grizzlies, but I need to ask you now before we get off this.
Okay.
Would you rather Tatum drop 82 points and the Celtics lose to the Nets and the Nets go on to win the championship, or KD drop 82 points and the Celtics go on to win the championship? KD drops 82 in the loss. Whose individual performance would you rather see?
Damn, that's a great question. So got Tatum dropping 82, but
the Celtics lose and the Nets go on to win the title, and then vice versa with KD.
Yeah, that's a great question, bro. I think I want to say I think I'd rather see KD drop 82 because then I could just be like,
that makes
okay,
me feel better about you.
My guy did what he had to do. Fuck all these other dudes, Kyrie, whatever.
Yeah.
My guy, like he's covered. Like he took care of his shit.
Right.
And then I got the Celtics. They won in the championship, so we to the parade.
So can we? I'm gonna write this down when we come back. T, of course, you're invited back onto our round 2 playoff preview, without a doubt. We will revisit all of this. I just want to run through. So Jay, Memphis, you have Memphis in 7.
Memphis in 7, yep.
Memphis in 7. You have
Memphis in 5. A good 5, but Memphis in 5.
You have Memphis in 5.
Yep.
Jay, you had Warriors in 5?
5. Yeah, I'll say 5.
Yep.
And T, same?
Yep.
You could have done this a lot better. T, you had Utah. You had Utah in 6?
Same.
Jay, same?
Mm-hmm.
That makes me sick to say.
And then Suns in 4, right?
That makes you sick.
Suns in 4 all around.
Suns in 4, yeah, that's a sweep.
And then the East.
Wow, Dallas and Utah. 91-92 Utah with a minute left.
Oh shit! I gotta hop on that. Let me pull that up.
We got Miami beating Cleveland by I got the Miami beating Cleveland by 6.
Yeah, I think I said 5, but I'll switch it to 6. I think Atlanta will be competitive. But
okay, so Miami in 5.
Yep.
For
Miami,
T.
yeah, and then for me 6. I'll say Miami 6. Ooh, big 3, Royce O'Neal.
I gotta fucking turn that game on.
He's telling the crowd to keep it quiet.
This will be a live reaction.
Royce O'Neal, all right.
Yeah, Royce O'Neal is kind of moving crazy right now.
Xfinity.
And then what's the next series we got?
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Boston. So I have Boston in 6. T, you had Brooklyn in 5.
Yep.
Damn. What am I?
Jay, you had Boston in 7.
Oh man. Because this is official, right? Once you put it on the paper,
we're
it's
locking
official.
it in here. We're locking it in.
It's the lock in because I was kind of dancing.
You can't be like, you misheard.
I said Brooklyn. I said they both will win. Damn, no bullshit, bro. Fuck, man. It's a series, bro. It's gonna take some years off my life. Fuck. I'll say Boston in 7. I'm gonna stick with it.
We have T has Philly in 6.
Yep.
Jay has Toronto in 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm forgetting one series here.
Bulls. Bucks, Bulls. I think we all got Bucks
sweep, right?
Yeah. And I think that's it.
Yep.
That might be all of them. Yeah. It's going to be a great playoffs, fellas. It really is.
I think so too. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're in for a treat, man.
Yeah.
Next up is Grizzlies and Timberwolves. I feel like that should be like a nighttime game, but
yeah.
That does feel like a nighttime game.
On some late night shit, but I'll take it. A little matinee. All right, so
all right, yeah. Sorry for the awkward end to this. I'm just trying to log on to this Xfinity stream so I can watch the end of the game, but that's not happening. Okay. So I'm gonna go run downstairs and catch the end of this game. T, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
We'll see you in a couple weeks for round 2.
Yeah, for sure.
My dog. Appreciate
Jay,
y'all.
as always, that was a pleasure.
We'll be back soon, Gabe. You already know.
Guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.